The answer.
Podcast. Hello.
Hopefully you can hear him. He's got a
fragile.
bit of a sore throat.
No, it's not the throat. It's
the sound.
I don't want to put too much energy into this in case something gives way. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's not from the top either, is it?
No, it's not. But lucky for you in a way, otherwise I'd be sick all over your table.
Yeah, so if at any point there's like a random cut in the middle of the podcast,
it means I've had to run off.
He's had to dart up to do a bit of pan damage.
I'm nervous about laughing as well.
Yeah.
So, no, I should be all right. I purposely didn't eat before this.
This is the effort that this man is putting in to this podcast.
We
only did one last week as well.
I know, nice guy. So.
And usual SoundCloud, Stitcher, Apple Music, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's where we are.
Yes.
YouTube. Find us wherever you want to find us.
And to my knowledge, no one's dead.
No, apart from not that it's wrestling related in any way, shape, or form, but I suppose we can dedicate it to this.
Oh,
Ricky Gervais's cat.
Oh.
That's right.
No,
Ollie died. Yeah, Ollie died. I was well gutted because he's like his little baby. Like he's his little favourite little thing.
Okay. If you want to dedicate to a cat, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I thought you were going to go with. I'm probably getting his
Max von Sydow.
Yeah,
we can do Max von Sydow as well. But he died at 90. That's a good age.
Yeah, what was he? Star Wars, Exorcist, Minority Report.
Yeah,
all that
he
stuff.
did a few things.
I didn't know he did the voice of Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. I didn't know that. So it's too little, too late now. But excuse me while I drink.
Yeah, he's going to be taking water sips.
But it's also, on a good note, this is more an AEW thing, but it's the female referee, Aubrey Edwards. It's her birthday today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so happy birthday, Aubrey.
Okay.
But now we'll go back to the horrible WWE stuff. Even though, actually
this
wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad of a pay-per-view.
No.
I'll be honest. To be honest, it's easy to follow Super Shit Show, to be frank.
It was. So.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I was more impressed than disappointed.
Yeah.
Which is something to say in this current state of WWE. But
yeah.
I take it you didn't watch the pre-show?
No, just thrown together at the last minute, Viking Raiders versus...
Kurt Owens and Ryder.
Yeah, and I heard it was just kind of, whatever.
Well, because
that was pretty much it.
Because the Americans have done the clock change, the pre-show started at 10 o'clock Sunday night. So I was like, well, I can catch the pre-show and maybe a little bit of the main show before I go to bed. At that point, I started feeling rough anyway, and then Viking Raiders came out. I was like, oh, it would make sense for them to go against AOP now. This might be pretty good. As soon as Hawkins and Ryder's music hit, it's like, oh, I'm going to bed. No offence to Hawkins and Ryder.
But who cares?
Yeah.
It's just thrown together. I heard that the match was just... It just existed. It was there.
Yeah, I was looking at the soundbar here. I think I should speak up a bit. So, but yeah, I didn't really watch it because I just knew as soon as they came out. Again, no offense to them. I just thought I knew Raiders would win, and I just thought this is a match that has no relevance. Yeah. It's not going to build a storyline, go anywhere, create characters. So
pointless.
I think it was just to give a win in the Raiders column.
This is the thing I'm getting point with the kickoff shows now. You don't always have to have them.
No.
Do you like with something like this? Like if it's doing something like you put in a match on the card that is a story-based thing and it's gonna hopefully get those last-minute buys for people to go, I'm just gonna watch this to pay for you because I understand that's the point of the kickoff show. Mm-hmm. Then great, but this did nothing for nobody at any point. It was just a waste of money and a waste of time. So what is the point? Do you have to do a kickoff show all the time? No, you don't.
I think it's because when people are like coming into not only to this, but when they're coming into the arena, they're settling in, getting popcorn, drinks, just a little bit of pre-entertainment before the main show.
Well, don't advertise it. Just have it as a house show.
But this match wasn't advertised, was it?
No. I mean, I don't actually have it as a live thing that can be shown. Just show it to the people there.
It's one thing to go because, like I say, is the pre-show to make them buy the pay-per-view? At the minute, it's only a network exclusive. Which means you've already got the pay-per-view because you've got the network. Yeah. So if anything, it would make more sense to do what AEW have been doing. They'd have their little, I can't remember what they call it, but their pre-show to pay-per-view on ITV4, like the first hour, and then they'd be like, right, now's the pay-per-view, you'll watch it by the box office. Why don't they throw the pay-per-view pre-shows on like Sky Sports, BT Sport?
Yeah, why not?
Because you've got
makes more sense. You've got a bigger audience there.
You've got a panel advertising the show that's coming up. You've got a match, and if the pre-show match is any good, you might get people who haven't got the network go, solid, I'll buy the pay-per-view. Yeah. Probably more in America kind of thing, because obviously the time difference over here kind of screws us. But yeah, there was a thing with R-Truth on the panel, which made me laugh.
Oh yeah, we thought it was at WrestleMania.
We thought it was made,
yeah.
And he kept going, I forget the guy's name now, but he kept calling someone Sam Roberts when it was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
it's stupid and it's not going anywhere, but it entertains me, and I suppose that's what it's meant to do. That
it's childish.
It's something for Truth to do.
Yeah, and
I'm kind of glad it's not revolved around the 24/7 title with R-Truth anymore. So, anyway, main show. I don't think we mentioned actually of Elimination Chamber 2020. We haven't edited the show yet.
In case you weren't sure.
Yes, it will be on the graphic.
The thing.
Yeah. So first match was Brian Gulak.
This was great.
I really enjoyed it as well.
Put them. Well, obviously, it didn't need to put Brian over because he's amazing anyway. But he put Gulak over in this. Plenty of offense in, plenty of proper. It's just a solid technical wrestling match.
Yes.
And they just had a great time with it. I really enjoyed it. I come away more interested in Gulak than I've ever been. Still love Brian, always will. And even in defeat, Gulak still looks good.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was going to say. Because I've seen. Do you remember when they did a few months ago? They did like an Evolve special on the network, and it was Gulak versus Cesaro. I'm pretty sure it was Gulak when he was the cruiserweight champion.
Yeah.
And was it Cesaro? Sorry, Gulak versus Matt Riddle, and they tore the house down. And I always knew Gulak had that ability, so I always thought this Brian versus Gulak could be a hidden gem here.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like one of my favourite top 10 matches
as
far as a wow factor goes, but it's it's the textbook what a solid match should be.
Yeah, and it did exactly what it needed to do for everybody involved.
Because it gave you good wrestling. It told a story, it developed characters. It's the 3 ticks you need in any wrestling
Considering
match.
that last couple of weeks, it's not been too much of a story build. Gulak over the last couple of weeks is saying that he knows a few Brian's weaknesses, and then literally on the last moment on SmackDown, he's like, I'll challenge you to a match then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is. It wasn't much of a story build, and yet they still put on a good time.
I love at the start, like you say, it started off as like, let's show off our technical mat-based skills, and it was like everything... Brian tried, Gulak was one step in front of him.
He had an answer to it, and like even at the end, once he was done and dusted, Brian was kind of looking at him and pointing to the guy, basically just giving him that nod of approval, essentially.
Yeah, because when the whole at one point Brian rolled out the ring to compose himself, the commentators were like, "You never see him do this."
Yeah,
and I was like, right. "That's true.
It's true. He doesn't do that."
And then it kind of became okay. They started into the strong style kicks and elbows and stuff.
That massive German suplex.
Oh, I thought he was done.
On the back of oh my god, what a hit.
It's one thing for anybody.
It looked really bad. It looked awful.
I was watching the referee going, is he going to throw the X up? I thought they might end with the count out. He made it look that way when Brian got up at 8 and then collapsed.
Yeah.
I thought they're going with the count out, and then at the last second he slid in. But yeah, there was that. Apparently, I didn't see this, but apparently it's all over the internet. That suplex over the top rope where they could go on with them, which I always hate because I keep thinking that can go wrong so easily. Yeah. Apparently, Brian's balls popped out of his tights, and everybody saw.
Didn't see that.
No, I didn't see it, but apparently...
Maybe he's got some small balls then, because I didn't see it.
Either the fans saw it, or because I didn't watch it live, maybe WWE edited it out. I don't know. Because they always do that in case a fan runs into the ring or something like that. But yeah, as far as what the wrestling was, great submission wrestling, great technical wrestling. I did think they were going to try and tick all the boxes of, all right, then they'll go to high flying, then they'll get a bit more, not hardcore, but like aggressive to tick all the boxes or whatever every wrestling fan wants.
Yes, but I actually it served the story for him to tap him out with the yes lock.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't tap out, did he? He passed out.
Did he pass out?
Yeah.
I thought he tapped.
No, he passed out. The ref checked his hand and that was it.
Right. But still, I thought that served the story better.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does because, again, he looks admirable in defeat because he didn't tap out, he passed out.
Yeah.
And, again, Brian almost, he did the yes thing at the end, but almost like told the fans, give him the same ovation as well. Yeah. And I don't think his story's over. What I'm not worried about, but is a probable thing, I think we'll probably see a rematch, but it's probably going to be the pre-show Mania. Because...
but apparently the rumours of Brian is it's going to be him versus Shayna at Mania.
Oh, I have heard that, but... Why are they so obsessed with that match?
I don't know. It's like they want retribution, but again, the only way I'm happy with it is if Brian gets rid of him in less than 18 seconds. But even then, it's kind of a waste of Brian on a Mania card, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but at the minute, what can we do with Brian? or Sheamus, or Gulak. I mean, or
a triple threat,
maybe. But I do also think maybe Bryan might turn to Gulak and go, "How about we've established how well we do against each other. What we team up." And it might be a odd pairing at first, but like we've said in the past, Kane and Bryan was.
Yeah.
Gulak and Bryan with Murphy and Seth at the minute. This could work. I'm not sure where it's going.
I mean, I wouldn't mind giving it.
And I'd rather something get him with Gulak at the minute anyway, because Sheamus versus Bryan has happened at Mania twice. They nearly did it at WrestleMania 30. I still don't get... Yeah, I mean, why are they obsessed with having this match at Mania? I don't get it. They work great together.
If they do it, I guarantee Michael Cole will be going, this old rivalry renewed. It's like, it's not really a rivalry, is it?
It's just something pulled out of the recycling, isn't it? So
anyway,
so Daniel Bryan won, and it's a very solid match. And so was the follow-up, I thought, with Andrade versus Carrillo for the US title. Carrillo.
It's Carrillo, isn't it?
I don't know. It's spelled Carrillo. So.
You do the same as Sarah. It's like Trujillo. It's not Trujillo, is it?
Okay. Let me rewind. Andrade versus Humberto.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right. So now I was kind of worried about this because obviously this is a kind of with Angel and Humberto and Andrade. These matches are kind of just being thrown all over the place for the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that we've not had any Andrade because of the wellness policy thing. And
this has happened a lot on Raw and on previous pay-per-view, so I thought, here we go, it's just a filler match. But it didn't feel that way.
No, I quite liked it.
Yeah, they managed to pull... Yes, of course, they pulled some of the old tricks out the hat, but they pulled some new ones as well. Or if they weren't new tricks, it was new ways to tell the story. Again, it was very similar to the first match of, like, they knew what to do. Very hard hitting. I'm still not sure how I feel about Humberto's springboard headbutt, because it always looks like he misses it. I always think, and his arm's always behind him, and like, just do that into a cross body, it'll look beautiful. You doing the headbutt makes me think, did you miss that? And then the commentators go, fine headbutt. Like, oh, it was a headbutt, was it? It's a bit... Yeah. I'm on the fence about that.
I mean, like I said, I did enjoy this match. It did, again, what it needed to do. I went for Andrade, but I thought Correa may get it because he's lost quite a lot, and maybe this is the time for win it. But then as the time was going on and they were developing this story through this match, I thought, no, Andrade's going to get it again, because I think what they're potentially building towards, even though he's had so many US title shots already, I think they're potentially building towards a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. I think it's potentially going to be Andrade, Carrillo, Ray, and Angel.
I think that as well.
And that's where Carrillo will pick up the win. And I think if they're going to do it, and it's going to be that feel-good story, because I'm liking Carrillo at the minute, especially that he's become more aggressive as well. He's not just that smiling baby face. He's getting pissed off with his frustration, and I like that. I think that if you're going to do it right and have that nice feel-good story for the win, he's got to pin Andrade.
Yeah, it's one of them. If it wasn't any of the pay-per-view, I probably would have gone with Humberto. But because we're approaching Mania, it just makes more sense to me. Yeah, well, it just made more sense to me for Andrade to walk into Mania as US champ.
Yes. Because he's been a good US champ. He's been, he's not been like the best ever, but he's been quite a serviceable US champ, minus the time off that he's had because of the wellness policy. But as soon as I see the belt around him, I think it fits him. It fits him quite nicely. Yeah. It's a nice position for him at the moment.
It's one I do like to say a bit more on this aggression being built up in Humberto. And every time Zelina is becoming one of my favourite managers, just with her facial expressions and just her reactions to things. And she doesn't get involved a lot, which I like. But when she does get involved, it serves a purpose, and it is a kind of oh, come on, don't ruin this great match.
I mean, to be honest, like she did get involved in this match by pulling up the mat thing.
A callback again.
Yeah, it's a callback again. Good storytelling, but she didn't actually get involved with the result of the way that Andrade won.
No,
do you know what I mean?
All those roll-ups.
It was all the roll-ups, and then he got the tights, and he's a bit annoying with the roll-ups, but with how nice the match was and how the way it ended, I actually didn't mind that roll-up. Yeah. I didn't come away going, for fuck's sake, not another roll-up. I went, alright, that served the story fine. You know what I mean? I actually like the fact that Zelina didn't get involved with that aspect of it. She did some things to tease stuff, but she did, 9 times out of 10 when she gets involved, it's right at the end, so that she distracts the ref, or as soon as the ref's being distracted, she hits the opponent, blah, blah. That's the kind of stuff she does. But the fact she didn't do this time, it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, it's one of them, again, referring back to the first match, like we always talk about WrestleMania 17 as like possibly the greatest Mania of all time because maybe 90-95% of every match was just they knocked it out of the park, awe-inspiring, which then comes to the difficult part of how do you follow that. And I'm a very old school guy of like, to me the main event should be the greatest match on the card. So these matches serve the purpose of like, they're not main event stealing, but they're solid. They're great matches. They keep the fans invested in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a good build up to how the show is going to go.
Yeah.
So it was a very slick match, a very solid match. If Humberto doesn't win at Mania, if he does win at Mania, it wouldn't surprise me if Angel and Andrade become a tag team. They've already got that connection with Selena.
I wouldn't mind that.
If it looks like Humberto's going to do it, and then Angel nicks it at the last pose, like throws him out the ring, takes the pin, I think it might be when Humberto properly snaps, or maybe just goes to town on Ray.
Maybe.
If anything, I know Humberto's quite new, but if he snaps on Ray, and then Dominic gets involved again, because there is rumours that it's getting ever so closer that Dominic will debut.
Yeah.
Dominic and Humberto in that kind of fresh-faced rivalry might work.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities for them to do certain things. Hopefully they'll pull something out of that.
Yeah, again, it's one of those titles or those situations at the minute where the US type match might be thrown on the pre-show Mania. I don't know. But there's a lot to... Even with a 6-hour show, they've got a stacked card.
Someone's got to, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got a lot to cover. So. Yeah. But it was a great match.
It was
and Andrade still United States champion. Now, I think was the first Elimination Chamber?
Yes, it was the tag titles. So obviously Miz and Morrison are tag champs, New Day, Usos, Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery, and Ziggler and Rudolph.
Yeah. This, I really enjoyed this
match.
Did.
A lot of things though, like I've seen a couple of reviews and a lot of people are saying it was good but not great and that some of the crowd had died off for it. And I thought, well, yeah, there were certain points where the crowd were a little bit quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still fully invested in the match. I really was well behind Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
I liked all the tactics that were being used by other people and everything. I liked the fact that Usos and New Day teamed up at certain points. I liked Lucha House Party got a reasonable showing, but they were going to be the first to go out and do that.
Yeah.
The off the top of the elimination.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I like that when he was it I can't remember what movie he did.
He kind of...
he flicked, didn't he?
Yeah,
he let go and
the camera was trying to... You could hear the fans buzzing like something was happening, and then other wrestlers were staring at him, but the camera wasn't showing it.
Too much of a pause.
Yeah.
And I agree with certain people. There were a couple of missteps and botches there, like a couple of slip-ups.
Yes, I saw near the start.
Yeah, there was, that it happens.
Yeah, it happens, yeah.
But overall, I really was invested in it. I liked the back and forth with Ziggler and Otis, and then Otis getting charged through the pod and fell out the side, and then Tucker got pissed off and started going against him by himself. I love that. Tucker got his little moment there. Because obviously we're all focused on Otis at the moment.
Yeah.
And Tucker's getting not lost in the shuffle, but he's
not the other guy.
He's the other guy. But this little moment here is defending his mate, and I liked that he got that little moment.
Yeah, but I think the reason why it's kind of some people thought it was great, some people thought it was good. I was kind of going in with, I've been quite vocal the last couple of years of I don't like the new design of this chamber.
Yeah.
But also, to me, there's only, after, I don't know how long it's been about, since 2002, I think, from the original structure.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with it until it's yes, it's a cool spot going through the pod or hitting the trains and whatnot, but we've seen it.
Yeah.
Until Otis did that thing, which it took me off guard.
Yeah. Did you see the plastic as well? It went all over the commentator.
Yeah,
It flew across the commentator.
You heard the fans react of that, the shock of that's new. Didn't expect that. I would have liked Tucker to turn up the anger just a little bit more. The way sometimes it's Big Show we get angry or something. Yeah. If he just Otis, you okay? Even though it wasn't really Ziggler's fault, Ziggler just got out of the way. Just to turn in that shaking rage and Rude and Ziggler to be all right, come on now, this weren't our fault, and him just go to town. Yeah, I'm not knocking Tucker at all. Just would have turned up the anger or rage a little bit more. At one point, I don't know if it was Grand Metalik or the other Lucha House Party guy. I forget their names. Apologise. He springboarded onto the chain, and I think he slipped. And
the other guy,
his foot got stuck. And I think that was a fuck up.
Yeah, I think it was. It was a botch because he had to recover as quickly as he could.
Well, that could have been bad. He could have snapped his ankle or anything.
But luckily he didn't.
But yeah, they gave the high flying thing.
Yeah, they were first out, weren't they? They were pinned first, and then who was next after that?
I don't know, but I do remember Tucker doing the senton off the pod.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Cannonballed it, didn't it?
Yes. Tucker got eliminated next. I think it was.
Got them out, and everybody kind of like felt disheartened.
Yeah, wasn't it a couple of like super kicks and then the glorious DDT? I think, and then that was it. And while Ziggler and Rude are showing off,
showboating, they got their asses kicked and pinned,
which is
I liked.
Yeah, it gave the fans what they wanted, but at the same time, it was like I was still on that fence of like, you really want to piss people off, give them the belts, and then have them lose it at Mania in that feel-good moment.
Yeah. Then it was the Usos and New Day kind of teaming up on Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
So it's just like, because I obviously went for those guys retaining. I was like, this is it, and it is going to be New Day versus Usos at Mania, which I don't really want to see because we've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
But then after a while, things broke down that everybody was after everybody again, and then New Day got pinned again. Kofi taking the pin, unfortunately, but that's what it is.
I loved their attire, by the way.
Yeah, the white. Yeah,
the colour by numbers thing. Yes. I thought it was a great idea,
cool.
Which apparently is like the tip of the cap to Xavier, of course, saying we're still thinking about you, mate.
Then they were down to Usos versus Miz and Morrison, and it was pretty good back and forth. To be honest, there was at points I think I don't generally know who's going to take this.
Yeah,
I wasn't too sure. And then Miz and Morrison retaining with the dirty tactics of that he jumped over the top, puts his legs on the top ropes for like a double pin.
Yeah, but again, it's legal in that.
It's legal, but I liked it though. It works for their characters, and it was a fun way to kind of end it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of the problem as well as having more than one chamber match is, all right, you can't properly go to town on it because you've got to save. Anything you demolish kind of fucks up the following match. So apart from obviously the Otis thing, like I said, shocking me, I think that was kind of the only into pod kind of spot, apart from when I think Ziggler and Rude were trying to hold the door shut at one point when I think was it New Day and the Usos that are after them.
Yeah, I think so.
Cut a load of spots off the pod, like you said, the Lucha House Party thing off the top of the cage was insane.
Yeah.
I think when Heavy Machinery came in to a huge pop, didn't they just kept I can't remember who it was now, but they just kept slamming into someone over and over again.
Rude.
Was it Rude and Ziggler?
I think it was.
Or was it the Usos? It might have been the Usos.
Oh no, at the start, it was the
just
Usos.
Over and over again into the chain link, over and over. And I'm not going to say it's soft, but I'd really like them to establish how hard the padding is outside there, because from our point of view, it just kind of looks like a thick mat.
Yeah.
Until we know how much impact's actually on there. Not saying it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't really matter either way, really, because they constantly go on about saying that glass is fucking bulletproof, and it's clearly just plexiglass.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's nothing.
But back in the old chamber, like I say, you could see it was steel back on, and it was the girder stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're being a little bit more protective now, because this is the problem with this pay-per-view, and they can't help it. It doesn't matter what pay-per-view you have in February. You're going to have people who know they're going to Mania already. Yeah. And they're going to fight a little bit more safe because they don't want to fuck up their going to Mania. And those that aren't are going to go balls to the wall to try and get on the Mania card. This is the problem with the Elimination
Chamber. It's placed in the wrong place.
It is. Again, it doesn't matter what pay-per-view you put in February. You're going to have those that are going to play it safe because they're already going to Mania. Those that are just going to go mental because they want to get to Mania, which sometimes works or sometimes they hurt themselves. It's kind of a back and forth. But
overall, I think it was a good Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So still tag champs, Miz and Morrison. Next was Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. No disqualification.
I enjoyed it.
I did, but for some reason, I thought this was the match that slowed the momentum of the pay-per-view down.
I think it's because the crowd weren't into it. They were a little bit. I mean, they got into it right near the end for obvious reasons, but for the most part, they were just a little bit deflated. But for me personally, I was really into it. I really enjoyed it. AJ did perfect heel stuff. We got plenty of things with tables and chairs and kendo sticks. Aleister looked great doing what he was doing. He was telling a good story by working on Aleister's leg to kind of get rid of the black mass and doing calf crusher. That was all good stuff being told. The only thing that I found a little bit weird is the fact that this was no DQ And it took forever for the OC to get involved.
This is my problem.
They were just standing around. Like, even at one point where he had AJ down through the table, I think it was, wasn't it? And he's standing above him. And then over in the corner, I was like, this is your moment, guys. He's down. He needs help. You beat the shit into him. But they didn't. It literally took to the last moment when they went in and started beating him down, all three of them, and went for the Magic Killer.
But did you see... I can't remember if it was on the pre-show or actually on the show. They did an interview with AJ Styles. And he said, of course the OC are going to be out there.
Yes,
and he almost kind of confirmed that, of course they're going to help me, of course they're going to cheat. It's no DQ. I'm going to take advantage of that. Now, if he pulled a promo saying, look, the OC are going to be out there, and if I need their help, I'll call upon them. But I don't think they're going to need their help. I'll call on them when I need them. It would have made more sense
when they're sitting there doing it.
Anderson, Gallows. Otherwise, from the get-go, I just thought, surely should be 3-on-1.
Should be getting
They
involved.
should just kick the shit out of him. Yeah. But also, just the way the match was going. Well, number one, I love Aleister Black and I love AJ Styles. I just thought for those caliber of superstars, I just thought they could have pulled more out of the hat.
Maybe, but I think maybe they're saving themselves for another time because I think this match was a means to an end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It wasn't mainly their match wasn't the focus of the feud. It's to get to the point where we're getting with AJ and Taker. So because of that, they're maybe going a bit safe because maybe thought well, when we actually get a full on feud together, because I think maybe once the whole Taker thing's done and dusted, I think. Maybe them having a full-on feud is a good idea. Yeah. That's where they go balls to the walls with it, which I know they can do.
Yeah, I think this is my problem with the match, because I thought... this was more, I just want to see what happens at the end now. I wasn't invested enough in the match to care.
Yeah, we kind of assumed what was going to happen.
Yeah, because there was no... there was a minor story between AJ and Aleister, that's why we had the match. But that's kind of the subplot. Yeah. You want to get to the main story.
Which we know what it is. We're waiting for it to appear.
You know the next chapter is going to appear at the end. But again, you've still got that doubt of not only will something happen or won't it, but will it just be lights out, gong, distraction, black mass over, or is he there? So as soon as the OC got involved, they had the great spots with the kendo stick, the table, I think the commentator table, I think someone got tackled over the top of it. As soon as the OC got involved, I thought, here we go. And the fans could sense it as well. And as he set up for the forearm, the gong went off. Huge pop. Yeah. And then Taker's...
Even I kind of popped and went, yes!
Yeah, here we go. And then Taker's there, he's just got OC... the OC on their knees, what are you going to do? AJ... you do hear AJ shout kind of the signal for Taker to turn around. Yeah. And then... perfectly cashed him in the choke slam. A better choke slam than the Super Showdown.
Still pretty crap.
It was okay. But
it was better, but it's still not a great one.
If you watch the Super Showdown one, he just catches hat on the way up, which is why don't ever wrestle the gear. Take it, it's just a good idea. But yeah, hit the choke slam, disappeared.
And then the thing is, it came back on. I was like, what the hell? Where's Aleister? I was like, because I thought he'd be right there. Yeah. And then suddenly he's there in the corner. I was like, oh my god, he's down. And he was taking ages. It's like, oh my god, this is taking forever. I was literally on the edge of my seat going, this is taking forever. Is he not going to do this? Is he still going to lose? Because obviously I went for Aleister. I wanted him to win. Yeah. And he got there, and I thought he was just going to go for a cover. Right. That's what I thought he was just going to go for. But the fact that he went and hit him with a black mass and then pinned him, that was fine with me.
Yeah, but it was one of them where I was like, look, if he... I went for Aleister as well. So I wanted him to win, and it went the way we wanted it. But I thought, if AJ somehow pulls the upset here, even after a choke slam, it adds another layer to the story of okay, you took me down Super Showdown with that one choke slam. I was off guard here. I was even off guard now. I'm still phenomenal. You choke slammed me, you took out the OC, and I still managed to win the match. It makes a more formidable opponent.
I suppose, but when it's...
As far as the story goes, though, it's more AJ's anger of, you screwed me twice now.
Yeah, and I don't mind it for one very good...
No, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it for one very good reason. It's AJ Styles. If it was someone else, it might bruise them quite badly going into the match with Taker. But AJ's very similar to Daniel Bryan. Even when he loses... we're not fussed because we don't think it ruins him that much because he's AJ Styles. He's so good at what he does in the ring. He's so good at telling a story. He's a great character. And even though he's lost twice now, I still don't think any less of him because it's like he's been screwed by Taker twice. So it's a valid storyline, and at no point do I think, well, that's wrecked his character. I don't think that.
But this is, I'm hoping to a degree, this is what the company thought. Even though I don't agree with what they did, maybe the company thought that exact same thing about Bray Wyatt, Super Showdown. That he was so over as a character, we wouldn't turn on him. Which we haven't.
No,
but I still don't agree with it.
He wasn't there long enough for...
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't agree with how they booked it. And the same with Ricochet. I mean...
Again, not been there long enough.
Well, the whole thing with Riddick Moss. I mean, what was that?
I mean, AJ's been there long enough now. He's been there for 5 years. So
yeah, he's been there a long time.
So and we knew what he was like before that as well.
Yeah. So,
with the Fiend is meant to be this brand new character. Yes, we knew what Bray Wyatt was like, but this Fiend is a different thing. It's a completely reboot of the character.
Yeah.
So he hadn't been there long enough to warrant that loss.
No, I agree, but I also agree. Yeah, it's going to take a lot to bury AJ, which is why they played it safe. In a way, they played it safe. What interested me, I'm probably looking way too much into this. When Alistair won and he did the cross leg and the black mass, he looked. He still had the rage mode on.
Yeah.
Now, it could just be part of his character. It could be part of like the wincing of the pain he went through. It could be showing his anger and disdain towards AJ stuff. There's a little part of me thinking, is he pissed off that Taker kind of took his moment? Like almost like I didn't need your help? And is this going to like develop into something? Because
I mean, I doubt it, but it would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, what I miss nowadays is storylines with longevity.
Yeah, if that pushed towards him and Taker at SummerSlam.
I was thinking like Mania 37.
What really eke it out?
I'm thinking something like because I don't know why, but I've got this feeling in my head that Taker's going to beat AJ. If it's just a one-on-one, OC aren't there, I think Taker's going to beat AJ. Unless just for this unexpected moment of like, what the fuck, out of nowhere, Alistair Black masses Taker, AJ's in shock, just crawls over, gets the pin, crawls out, and it won't be the main event, but before we fade, no pun intended, fade to black to the next promo, commercial, whatever, it's just Taker laid out in the ring and Alistair's cross-legged looking over Taker's body. And then for maybe months, you get no explanation from Alistair. Then he does, and then maybe he gets a title shot at SummerSlam. The gong goes off, Taker costs him. And you just slowly build it up through promos.
I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, just through promos, just through screw jobs.
I'd be fine with that, because we don't have the streak anymore, so you can have people get involved.
Yeah, just through promos, mind games, and just little, like, just jabs. You could build up a huge main event kind of thing.
And also, if AJ, if Alistair goes over in that match at Mania, how much does that put him over?
If AJ doesn't...
You've built your next star.
If AJ doesn't win against Taker at this Mania, but I am right with the Alistair thing, Alistair should be the one to put Taker down, I think. I know we've been saying that with previous opponents for years.
But someone needs to be the one to retire it. Someone needs to do
every time we say we think this is the time and it's not, we're getting closer and closer to being right. And it's always like, okay, maybe we'll be right this year, but who's the opponent going to be?
That's the thing.
And I just don't think it's AJ this time.
It might not be, no. I mean, I think maybe he'll get a win.
Mania.
I think AJ's going to win, but I don't think he's going to retire him.
I know, but it's because I was going to say with that, it's AJ's not got a lot left in the tank either. He's not old.
Well, he said he got himself into a 5-year contract last year.
Yeah, so 4 years left.
But he's already said that once that contract's up, that's it.
Yeah.
So he's got 4 more years in the company.
Yeah, so it'd be pointless putting him over to someone who isn't exactly the future now.
Yeah.
He's the present, but he's not in his prime.
Yeah.
So, I was fine with the result, and we know where it's going. I take it you haven't seen Raw yet?
No.
AJ's promo on Taker is amazing.
Is it?
Oh, it gets so personal so quick.
Good. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. So next this to me was the piss break kind of filler match for me. It was the Raw Tag Titles.
Yeah.
Street Profits versus
it was just
Murphy.
It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. They had everyone did their kind of the bits and bobs and moments to shine and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I still enjoyed Street Profits. I still enjoy Seth's heel. I just thought it was an okay match. Although I do like the inclusion with Kevin Owens. I know it was a bit kind of cheesy and playful with him coming down with the popcorn, throwing it in his face, getting him distracted, and then Murphy took the loss because Seth was screwed out on the outside.
Yeah.
But that, for me, that was fine. Again, I mean, then IOP at some point got involved, and then Viking Raiders just came and kind of ushered them away.
Yeah.
So that seemed a little bit pointless to me. Because they came in and they were gone very, very quickly. And I was just like, well, why bother?
it just seemed for a pay-per-view. I knew what they did with Kevin and Seth and the whole thing because, again, it's another chapter to the story. But it seemed like a chapter and even a match that could have been done on Raw. It didn't seem like a huge part of the story to be pay-per-view worthy.
No.
So, and as far as the match goes, again, no one did anything wrong. It just seems slightly better than the match at Super Showdown.
Yeah.
Murphy, I thought at one point was great because I think they did like a double super kick and then he hit another move, went for the pin on Dawkins, whoever it was, and they kicked out. And he's screaming at Seth like, "What do I do now?
Yeah.
Tell me." He's embracing that whole thing of like,
I can't do without him.
I'm a follower.
Yeah.
He's the Messiah.
Tell me what to do so I get it done right.
Because, technically, why wouldn't he? Because from a character standpoint, Murphy's going to be looking at Seth like, Seth's done so much in so little time.
He's been tag champ so many times, been WWE champion. He's beaten Brock Lesnar twice. Yeah. He's been in the Shield.
He's had so many
won the Money in the
moments.
Bank. He's had a Mania moments, and Mania moments. He's a great character. He is generally like a big deal in the company.
So what Murphy's listed?
Absolutely.
It's one of them. So yeah, Murphy embraced it great. It was just. It seemed...
And it also played the fact that because Seth wasn't there to help him, that's why he lost.
Yeah.
Murphy took the pin because Seth was screwed out on the outside.
Yeah, it just seemed, again, maybe it's too harsh to call it piss break, but it was a bit of a filler match. I did think going in, so much for getting rid of this rematch clause thing.
Yeah, they kind of just swept that under the carpet. It's like no one technically asks for their rematch clause because they doesn't exist, but everybody gets one.
Yeah, so not all the time.
All they do is get it into a storyline. They basically just say, "I want a rematch," and someone's stupid enough to go, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They kind of take, and this isn't a knock. It's just something they've, in a way, a smart thing they've done. They've gone, okay, the rematch clause in the contract is gone, but it doesn't mean we can't book it if we don't want to. So in this case, Vince might have gone, okay, we've got 6 matches. Let's just give Seth and Murphy a tag title shot because why not? And they needed to fill up the card. Other people won't be going.
And the feud's
still
continuing. Yeah, the feud's continuing so far, whatever.
Yeah. So well, again, the chapter of the story wasn't strong, but it still filled another chapter in the story between Kevin Owens.
It's another part. Yeah, exactly. So, again, there's another means to an end, and I'm looking forward to Seth versus Kevin Owens.
Yes,
as long as Kevin wins.
Well, I'm not so sure.
I need that guy to win. It'd be so good for him to win because Seth doesn't necessarily need it. He's had a lot of wins at Mania. The last time he lost at Mania was against Randy Orton, and he won the WWE Championship later that night. So
agreed, but again,
so he can take a loss from KO.
Yes, but is it too obvious? Because sometimes the fans,
maybe,
sometimes WWE the fans are expecting that. Let's swerve them, which they don't do enough of nowadays, if you ask me, because it does become predictable.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose you're right.
But they might do it on another match. Yeah, you don't know. So
good. It was alright. It was fine.
Next, again, as I thought this was a minor swerve, the 3-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah, now the match itself wasn't anything special.
But again, storytelling.
But it's the storytelling of it and the shock of everything that happened. Your brother called this.
Yeah, I know.
No one else. All of us went, we're going Braun. And as soon as your brother called for Sammy, I went, specifically Sammy, not just the 3 of them.
I did think that.
I was like, that's a bit of a bold move.
I thought, okay, what if Sammy, Shinsuke and Cesaro win, but Cesaro and Shinsuke get the pin? Does he get a point? But I was thinking, if I talk to him, he's going to go, who cares? I haven't won the whole thing anyway. I'll go back to 0 after this.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But he was right. Maybe he read something.
It was so weird because I love the story that was being told with Sammy as well. The fact that he was like, "Oh, you go stay in the apron, I'll do it." And then straight away he was he was like, it was like Braun Strowman was King Kong and he was one of the planes circling.
Yeah.
Never got near enough until near the end. They were doing most of the work and Sammy was just goading him in and all that kind of stuff. And I really liked it. It's the first time I've cared about Sammy for a while, really.
Yeah, there was a lot of it which I'm kind of cool with the whole thing, but there's a lot of it where they're like, if you sum it up, it's like it was a bizarre move. So maybe Zach read something about it online that we didn't, so thought, oh, if he's a favourite, Sammy. But to me, it seemed too early to take the belt off Braun. I thought going into Mania, they just put Braun over as a monster again, or just wiping all three out.
But I think what they're going to do is it's going to be just a one-on-one at Mania, and Braun is going to fucking chew him up and spit him out.
Possibly. I mean, yes. This is again, the match wasn't a wow thing to any degree. They did the spots like the run around the ring.
Yeah,
and
I like the finisher as well, where they do the suplex.
Yeah, I really wish it connected more.
Yeah, it didn't connect as much. Yeah, it's like suplex haluva kick.
Yeah, if it connected more, I might have brought that took down.
The haluva kick he hit on
SmackDown was great.
Fuck me, it was out of nowhere.
That's the one
I was like, that's the one I like.
Yeah.
I love the haluva kick when it's done right.
This was more like, you guys double suplex him, I've accidentally scuffed his cheek.
Yeah. But he got the pin, and Sammy's your Intercontinental Champion. The one thing I did find a bit weird is the fact that Nakamura was just perfectly okay with this. You were champ, and now you're not, and now your other mate is champ, and you just kind of gone, yeah, okay.
Maybe this is going to develop later in the story, because again, this is the bit of the match I like. The fact that maybe 4 or 5 times during the match, Braun would get control of the match, but instead of capitalising on it, he'd go back for Sammy.
Yeah, because he was goading in.
He's never got his hands on it. So it's like, now the fans really want you to get these hands, so to speak.
Unless it's a way of turning Nakamura face again. Where he screws Sammy at Mania. Like, they're there on the side for him and everything. And then...
Well, I just keep thinking Sammy's got such a loud mouth that eventually he's going to get him in trouble in this story.
Or maybe he just gets
by the time he goes to Mania, like Cesaro and Shinsuke walk down there with him, and then, at some point Braun gets the upper hand, so Sammy's like, guys, now, come on, I'll get the disqualification victory, go. And they just go, nah, screw you, walk up the ramp and leave him there. You're like, okay. Because... Again, it'd
be a fun story told, especially with Sammy being the heel that he is, where he's just there and it's a shock that they've left him, and then suddenly just turns around into a power slam, and that's it, he's done.
No offence to these examples we're going to throw out there now, but if Sammy was with people like AOP or I don't know, another heel tag team or another 2 people. Right. I probably would have been okay with it, but to me, it just seems like wasted potential in Cesaro and Shinsuke.
It's just like, why are you a team?
It's a weird combination. It's a great combination at the same time, but to me, they should be equals, and maybe that's what they're capitalising on. Of like, Sammy doesn't see them as equals. He thinks he's the man.
He thinks he's the... Yeah.
His hair is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, isn't it? But, even his outfit was a little bit stupid.
But yeah, but also, someone put up, this is his first singles title.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's what I was going to get onto next. That's the one thing I like, the fact that it is so long overdue that he had a singles title in the main roster.
Was it any title?
He has no title in the main roster.
Well, I don't think he's even been tag champ, has he?
Nope.
So yeah, 5 years.
Yeah. 5 years, first time he's ever got it. That's why I don't mind it as much, because Braun got overwhelmed. It is what it is. Yes, it was too soon to take it off him, but Sammy's got himself a title.
Yeah.
It might be transitional, I don't know, but I'm happy that he got a title. People even seem quite happy that he did. They popped reasonably for him when he raised the title. So
it was a weird kind of thing as well, of like, again, old school method. I always think... it does depend on the characters, how good you are, how bad you are, however you are, all that stuff, or how much heat. That Sammy hasn't wrestled a lot, so he's probably he's earned it through his arrogant mouthpiece and character, but he hasn't earned the Intercontinental title through any recent wrestling matches.
Yeah.
I know he's got the ability. But recently it's like...
But story-wise,
Story-wise, I get it, but you've thrown a prestigious Intercontinental champion on someone who's hardly wrestled the last few months. It's a bit weird.
Saying to be perfectly honest, when Nakamura first got hold of that title, he barely wrestled.
Yeah, and I'm still not sold on the design of the belt.
I'm warming to it.
It's okay.
The only thing I would say is change the strap from black to white.
Yeah.
And I think it would be better, because that's always the Intercontinental Championship to me, is white and gold.
Yeah. Well, the Attitude Era one was okay, but to me it seems like it's a belt that should belong in NXT. It's too gold in that way, and I don't know, I'm probably nitpicking. A belt's a belt, and it's what it represents at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm interested to where the story will go.
Yes,
definitely. And
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, in that sense, they did the right thing.
Yeah.
But as far as a wow factor as in wrestling, it didn't really hit the spot for me.
It was just a quick shock. But I am happy for Sammy.
Yeah, it was just, here we go, Braun's going to keep pushing Shinsuke and Cesaro away to try and get on Sammy. We'll never do it, and then eventually it'll become too much. Bang, Sammy's the champ. So maybe we'll have a fatal 4-way and it will break down then. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Then I think it was the main event.
Main event, so the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The winner faces Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So you've got Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Asuka, and Shayna Baszler. The only... Okay, there were some issues with this match. The main one being, we all know who was winning this match. Because we all know that Vince doesn't like teasing or booking a match and building towards a match that he has no intention of capitalising on. And he's been building this match between the two of them for the last few weeks. Yeah. So at what point would you not go and execute that?
Yeah.
Even with these rumours going around that apparently Vince wasn't exactly very happy with Shayna's performance on Raw against Kairi Sane, this kind of squashes those rumours. Because
who else could it have been?
There was no one in that thing that made it believable to me. The Asuka thing is over. None of the Riott Squad are even big enough to even attempt it. Natalya doesn't need it. No. That's it. Well, it's Shayna, and it was always going to be Shayna, and they made this one of the most dominating Elimination Chambers ever, if not the most dominating Elimination Chamber. There's been no single person that has taken out every other competitor in the chamber. She's the first.
It's... right, okay, yeah, I agree. Yes, Natalya doesn't need it, but no one wants to see Natalya go. I'm sorry, but it's not a WrestleMania main event.
No, face isn't.
Asuka Becky is, but like you said, it's been done. To me, since its conception, I thought this was the worst Elimination Chamber match I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, because just nothing, apart from, yes, the dominance of Shayna, which I get, nothing really happened. They didn't really... The only real pod thing I remember happening...
when Liv got thrown...
They collided.
Fuck me, that
massive
painful. That really bad. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. I agree with what you mean. It's the fact that we didn't get too much chamber spots and usage of the chamber.
Yeah, it made the chamber pretty pointless.
Yeah, it did. However, at the end of the day, the reason I didn't hate this match is purely on the fact that we all knew Shayna was winning.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that they've made it so dominant, it's actually made it such a credible threat for Becky.
I kind of knew that. We already knew that.
Yeah, I know, but you wanted to hammer it home, don't you? You kind of want to hammer it home.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't pin anyone, she tapped them all out. Tap, nap, or snap.
I think it would have been, if they hadn't included Shane this whole story for the last couple of months, or since the Royal Rumble, if there was meant to be a sixth woman in the pod, and then earlier in the show they got taken out, so it's like, who's going to fill it? And then everyone's like, it's got to be Shayna. Then the music hits.
Yeah.
But it got more of a pop, and the dominance would have seemed more justified.
Yeah.
But just to rewind back a minute, I think it was Ruby and Natalya in first, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, they quickly got to out the ring on the steel. Natalya was going into rage mode, and I like that she was using the reason that what happened with Beth.
Yeah.
When she knocked on the sharpshooter to Ruby, I was like, is this going to be a quick one? But managed to get out of it.
And Sarah Logan came out after that.
Yeah.
She hit Natalya in the face at one point, full on.
I did see that.
Natalya went to put her hand up, but she was nowhere near quick enough. And she full on clamped her with a knee. And
but before that, it just seemed a lot of here, Ruby, I'm going to push your face into the chain.
Yeah, like I said,
and then Ruby eventually returned the favour. What about whacking him into the steel or whacking him into the chain?
I did like Asuka's kind of build towards when she finally came out. She was constantly mouthing off and amped up, and I liked that. She did get more offense than anybody else.
I did like it,
but still not enough.
It began to get annoying, but at the same time, I was reminding myself, technically, she still is a heel, so it should be annoying. This is the problem which I was having, and I think the fans in the stadium were having as well, or arena, were having. Shayna, again, with her dominance, was eliminating people so quickly. There was such a long time for the pod to open.
Yeah, this was one of the issues I had with it, is that, she eliminated 2 people straight away, then the next one, and she was standing there for 3 minutes before the next person came out, and that's you should have you should have spaced that out so that by the time she eliminates that third person, she's only got 30-40 seconds to wait, minute max. That's down to the way they booked the show, the way they booked the match, and just the way they kind of put things together. They should have gone for a little bit longer so that she wasn't standing around, because it kind of cut it dead. if they hadn't have done that and they'd paced it better, it probably would have been a more acceptable match in your eyes.
Maybe they were trying to go with what they did with Brock in the Rumble.
Yeah, well, to be honest, that's what Sarah said once the match was over. She goes, they've basically done for Shayna what they did for Brock.
Yeah, she's the female Brock.
Yeah, which is fine.
Well, yeah, it is. But in my head, I thought, number one, like you said, either space out the wrestling a bit more, so when there is elimination, not when it's long. Number two, if you wanted to put Shayna over more as this horrible, vindictive bitch, have it look like that she knows she's already won, but she's playing with them. And then when
I thought she was anyway.
Well, she was, but almost to the point of like, yeah, I could eliminate him now, or I could kick the shit out of him a bit more. And then when the 10-second thing starts, go, oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, bring on the next.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I could have gone with that a little bit more. So, yeah, you get more use out of the chamber and stuff. So, I do agree. It wasn't like it was a great chamber match, because it wasn't. No. I was into the shock value of just how dominant she was, because I generally didn't think... I know how dominant she can be. I know who Shayna Baszler is. It's just they need to hammer it home for people that don't know it.
Yeah.
However, I didn't see them doing it this way. I didn't see them making her that dominant. I thought she'd get a few tap outs, maybe a pin, but I didn't think she'd tap out every single person and some of them in such quick succession. Again, I understand that the gaps between the people coming out of the pods was a bit of an annoyance, but I don't wholly hate this match. I really don't.
I don't hate it to a degree, but what I said was it's probably the worst chamber match I've ever seen. Now, I mean, if you really think about the other chamber matches... It probably
is, yeah. It is the worst out of the lot based on the fact that there wasn't much chamber action. However, it's not like it was the worst match I've ever seen. It's just, it was the lowest on the totem pole as far as chamber match is concerned, because all the rest of them had so many spots and moments and use of the chamber, and this didn't. Yeah. That's probably the main reason it's so low, is because it didn't utilise the gimmick.
Yeah, but I've also... Like I said earlier, I always think the main event of any show should be... Yeah, I thought that was the weakest match of the night.
Probably.
So,
but I mean, I think over the reason I'm okay with it is just down to the shot.
Yeah, again, they did what they needed to do. Yeah. But at one point, again, another rule they could throw in of like, if it ever gets to the point where the person left standing. Maybe change the rules so, okay, we'll give you a 30-second interval to catch your breath. You've earned that. But then instead of waiting 3 minutes or we'll release the next person. At one point, I was a little bit, wondering what the hell was going on with Liv. Because she looked almost emotional and terrified going in, which could have been character, could have been genuine, because I could understand why sort of structure like that could get in your head.
Yeah.
But when she first came out to Shayna, because when Shayna was waiting, it was kind of like, this is going to be like a lamb to the slaughter here. Yeah. I think she hit her with a headbutt or a kick, and she was like trying to psych herself up. I thought, if anything, you could build up Liv as like, she's giving Shayna a fight here. And,
she gave her a bit of offense, and she didn't tap. No. She passed out. But her and Asuka were the only two to do so. Everyone else tapped.
Yes. But I just thought, keep going more and more so the fans go behind you. And then suddenly Shayna locks in the game over.
I think that's the main takeaway from this match, is that we just wanted a lot more.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily against the way that she did things, the dominance, and the way that the result went. That's all fine. It's just we wanted more flush and flurry and flamboyance and just flavour into the match.
I did think what they did when Asuka was brought out the pod, I was fine with the stuff between Shayna and Asuka. It went the way it should have gone. I did think at one point, again, this could have gave Liv... It would have added more to the story, or the story of the match, at least, and maybe gave Liv a bit of a chance. It was obviously Shayna was waiting more for Asuka to get out. She was like, you're the main threat here. I'm interested to see how this goes. Let's go. When it came down to those last two pods between Liv and Asuka, I would love Shayna waiting there, hoping it's Asuka, and then Liv's light goes off, she turns around and goes, and as she pretty much turns back to taunt to Asuka, I'm going to go and rip Liv's head off. Just through a gap in the door, what if Asuka green misted Shayna in the face? And that would have gave Liv more advantage, Shayna would have been all discombobulated, and you're like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, I mean, what?
And that concern, because everyone wanted Shayna to win. That concern in the arena, like, oh God, is she...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have minded that.
I did think at one point, is Becky going to come out at the end and just have that square off with Shayna? Then I kept thinking, God, if Ronda's music hits now. Well, because she was a rumour.
If Becky was going to come out, I would have liked her to come out and cost the other person the match so that Shayna wins. It's because she's so desperate to get her hands on Shayna. She said constantly how much she wants to get hold of Shayna. So this is her way of making sure that happens. If they were going to involve Becky, that's how I would have wanted to do it.
I know she's the man and kind of the female Austin right now, but is that too much of a heel move?
No, because she's got that attitude to it. I like it because we've gone on record that she's so desperate to get hold of Shayna that she will make sure that that's going to happen. So she makes sure that Shayna wins the match. Even though Shayna was more than capable of doing it herself, it's making that guarantee.
Yeah, possibly.
And it also pisses off Shayna as well because Shayna will be like, I could have done that by myself. I didn't need you to fucking guarantee that for me. Again, I'm fine with the dominance that Shayna had, but my point is if they did decide to use Becky, that's the way I would have wanted them to do it.
Do you remember when Brock completely destroyed John Cena for the championship?
Yes. Oh yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh god, I did. I was sitting there dressed as a taker with a bottle of champagne watching. Your champagne, you won the fancy dress.
Yeah, we did. A little bit of the bubbly.
Don't make me laugh. Right.
He's going to shit himself.
Do you want to see Shayna do that to Becky at Mania, or do you want Becky to put up more of a fight?
I want Becky to put up a bit more of a fight.
Right.
However,
I think
Becky
needs to win.
She obviously Shayna needs to win. Yeah. Becky's had the title for more than long enough. A full calendar year, you're losing it at Mania where you got it. That all tables itself. It writes itself. That's the story that needs to be told. We all know this. It's just the way they execute it, and I need Shayna to be more dominant than not.
Yeah.
Yes, Becky should get a couple of offense in and give us a couple of moments to go, shit, she might actually retain. You get those moments because it's Becky at the end of the day. She's a badass. But for the most part, I want it to be 70-30 in Shayna's favour as far as dominance is concerned.
Well, she's got the other two MMA girls with her. I forget their names, apologise for that, but they were kind of following about NXT. Yeah. If at some point in the match Becky somehow gets the upper hand, so they interfere and Becky wipes them out, and then just through the crowd, Ronda comes out, costs Becky the match, and then the last shot you got is Shayna as the Raw Women's Champ, but with the four horsewomen, just with the four fingers.
I'll be right with that because you could build towards that at the following Mania, 4 versus 4.
It's one of those things that needs to happen, but they can't pull the trigger too soon.
Yeah, and this is a nice way to start it. If they're going to do that, I'd like that.
Again, more longevity.
Again, it involves the whole story with Ronda and Becky at the same time as well, because Becky was the one that pinned her, so her screwed her out of it and aligning herself with the other guys.
Yeah,
that all makes sense. It all tells a story, and then Becky just can't get her title back from Shayna. She tries a couple more times, it just doesn't happen where she's going, because these guys keep screwing her out of it every time and getting involved, just like Shayna was like when she was in NXT, to the point where she gets to it's right, I thought I need backup, and this is where she starts to talk to the other girls and just said, look, we need to take these guys down.
I keep hearing Ronda's contract, if she is coming back, is going to be more like Brock's, just a date here and there. If she almost becomes not actually said out loud, because Shayna would never admit it as far as her character goes, but almost the guardian angel for Shayna. Every time she looks like she's in trouble, Ronda will return, wipe them out, and then Shayna walks out with the belt. If it is a year's build up, the other two, again, sorry, I forget the names, if they become the women's tag champs, Shayna's Raw Women's Champ, and just, again, every now and then Ronda comes back, every now and then to fill the 4 in. You could build up to the 4 horsemen versus 4 horsewomen, but eventually you could build up to the story between Ronda and Shayna, of Ronda going, the only reason you were champ that long was because of me.
Again, it's longevity. If they think long and hard about it, they can make this happen.
Yeah, because Shayna...
And it works into Ronda's schedule quite well.
Shayna versus Ronda is a Mania match in itself at one point.
100%.
But again, if it's executed the right way.
Yeah.
If they suddenly went, okay, Shayna, you won the belt at WrestleMania, but you're going against Ronda at Money in the Bank, too soon. Ronda's only just come back, Shayna's just won the belt, there's no build-up here.
Yeah, it's not enough.
So, but yeah.
I understand people's grievances, I understand your grievances, but overall, I suppose it did what it needed to do. We all knew what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah, again, I'm fine with the outcome.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's Elimination Chamber done, and considering this was a pay-per-view that I don't think any of us cared about. No one cared about it going in. No one was looking forward to it going, I can't wait for this match, this show. We were just kind of like, it's the filler one before Mania. It actually ended up been a reasonably serviceable match. Pay-per-view, sorry.
It doesn't. It always doesn't help that you're left with a bad taste in your mouth of a showdown anyway.
Yeah.
They need to do something drastically soon because, yes, it has become that whole... It's just that pay-per-view to get us through to Mania. Just get it out of the way. It should be that whole... Well, holy shit, something could happen here, could change the face of Mania. It should be another level of excitement, but it hasn't been that way in years.
Yeah, it hasn't.
So, rankings?
I'm going to give it a 6.
Right.
I think 6 is fair. The whole pay-per-view was quite serviceable. Yes, I know there was a couple of missteps here and there, but for the most part, I was entertained, I enjoyed the matches, and the booking decisions were all fine.
Yeah, I think I'll go with a 6.5. I'll just give it a little bit extra. I probably would have gave it a 7 or 7.5.
I was close to a 7, but I think if there was more going on with the main event, then I probably would have knocked it up to a 7.
Yeah, because the way at the start of the show was going, I was thinking, this is becoming a solid 7 or 8 here if it keeps going this way. But again, I was fine with the result and the storytelling of the handicap match. Just not a great wrestling match. The Raw Tag Titles match, it was kind of just a standard Raw match.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, those matches kind of became what we expected the pay-per-view to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no,
so 6.5.
Yeah, we're cool with that.
Yeah. So this is it until Mania now.
Yeah,
got
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks, 28 days. So
I hope
I can't believe Mania's coming this quickly. It comes so quick, doesn't it?
It goes like.
I am actually absolutely gobsmacked that I am still champion. In our league. Honestly, I've been on borrowed time by the skin of my teeth for the last 3 or 4 pay-per-views at least, and I generally thought that out of all of them, I thought this is the one where I lose it. Just before Mania, me and Amy are both on the same points. Zach wasn't that far behind; he was only a point behind that. I was like, "This is it. This is where I lose it." And the fact that I won, and I'm 3 points ahead now. Zach, though, fuck me.
I know he caught up.
He's just like considering at the start of this league, guys. He was at the bottom of the pile, and for a while he was at the bottom of the pile. Yeah. And by the time we got to the following Mania, he's 1 point behind me. That's incredible. This is what makes me think. The fact we're going back to 0, I kind of want Zach to be the one to win it. What a story!
I'll tell you what.
Butcher's Calvary through the competition.
It might piss people off, but it's an early game. It would not surprise me if you all go back to 0 and you still somehow walk out.
I don't know whether I want that heat. I don't know whether I want it, man. I kind of want that fairy tale moment for someone. You know what I mean?
It could be complicated. It's going to get complicated if it's a draw between people.
But I'm kind of hoping there'll be enough matches and a bonus point to stop that from happening.
Yeah, well, we got Commissioner Jones to talk to about that, but there you go. But yeah, Amy's either done really well or really shit. Unfortunately, this was a really shit one, so it
wasn't the worst one.
No, but I think we had a lot of... I just thought, I'm going to go with the dark horses here because we will go back to 0 after this, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
So, but, I've lost my train of thought here, but you nearly got a full clean sweep.
Yeah, it's just the brawn handicap.
The brawn one, yeah. You got the bonus as well, but I thought even when I was looking at it, like if he gets the full sweep, good for him. Don't matter. Don't get extra points left.
No, we don't. We made that rule. That's fine.
Yeah, sorry, we're babbling our own conversation on a podcast. What's our podcast?
We'll be back for Mania, and there may be a new champ at that point.
Yeah, you never know.
So like, subscribe, and we'll see you in 4 weeks for WrestleMania.
Bye.